Hi there, I'm Holly McDonald with the Costa Mesa Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make Costa Mesa such a great place to live. Today I'm with Kayla Goetz of Kayla Goetz Creative. Hey, Kayla.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So can you tell us a little bit about your business name, first of all, because I love it.
Yeah, not a lot of people actually pronounce my name right, and so they don't get it until I explain it. But basically, the O is silent, and it's a run on words of me getting creative. So Kayla gets creative, and I try to encompass that into my business and my photo shoots that I do and the services that I offer.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So Kayla Gets Creative. What sort of services do you offer to people?
So I photograph all things people, whether it's events, family photos, weddings. I do creative portraits a lot as well. So I kind of just photograph everything and anything. I've done branding as well, and that's super fun, just to showcase other people's passions and businesses. That's why I love to do it. And it just really brings like a new perspective to my models when they see photos of themselves. They're like, wow, like not a lot of people think about the importance of photography and the kind of memories that it keeps for you or for your family. And so I like bringing that kind of joy to my clients and having fun with it as well and not making it as intimidating as it seems. Because
Yeah.
surprisingly, a lot of people are intimidated to get their photos taken. And I get that. Like, it's super like intimidating. Like, it's like, you don't really interact with that much. And so I like making sure my clients feel comfortable and that's an enjoyable experience so that they want to continue to do it, not only with me, but with other people in the future or for whatever events come up. They appreciate the photography aspect of it a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there has been such an evolution with photography too, because obviously, like back in my day, where you would like go to the mall and have a photo shoot done, and it was like you wouldn't even know for like a couple of weeks how the photos turned out. And
No,
now,
I grew up going to those too. Like my mom always made sure that we did. I have some of them actually back here, but I thought that I was in the studio all the time, like just with my brothers. We'd always do Christmas photos or like fun little editorial kind of photo shoots. And it was important to my mom, and we'd get them printed and everything. And
yeah.
so when I was little, I started doing like fake studio sessions, like in our extra room, and I'd like hang up, blankets or sheets, just use my little like pink Vivitar point and shoot camera and just kind of like make up things as we went. But learning about it as like a occupation or a career was, something that I didn't think was like a thing. And then I was like, wait, I could do this as my job. People do it for their job. And I found a lot of joy in that. And I'm super artistic. My aunt is an artist. My mom's super crafty. So it kind of was just like an encompassing, all encapsulating thing for me that was like, this is like a safe thing for me to do, and it's fun and I enjoy it and I can still be artistic with it.
I love that for you. Like, it's sort of similar for me when I was little. Like, I thought houses and real estate was just the coolest thing, and I
Yeah,
didn't think it was like a real job. Now I
yeah,
know definitely. And the same thing for you. Like, yeah, you were just like, I can just like make a pretend studio in my house and this is fun, but it can actually be an awesome business.
yeah. Yeah, and I learned that as I, went through high school. That's when I started my business. And so I've been doing it for close to 10 years now, which is so cool to be able to say. And doing it all on my own. Like, I've had such a great support system. Like, I have a family business. Like, my parents do like custom screen printing and things. My grandpa had a lot of businesses that he had back when my mom was younger. My mom's a hard worker. So coming from a hardworking family was really good motivation for me, and it inspired me to like really teach myself and push myself to my limits. And I've learned a lot. Maybe I've learned the hard way rather than like going to school and learning it, but everyone learns differently. And I just started actually taking classes, and that's 10 years in, and so there's really no specific timeline that is set for one way of doing things. I think you can figure it out, whatever works best for you. And I'm learning every day. I don't know everything, and I will continue to not know everything, and I'll continue to be able to learn.
I think that's really important because honestly, you learn so much in doing, right? But
And I love
then,
that. Like that's like
yeah,
way of learning things. I'd rather figure it out and see it on hand than like read about it and then be thrown into it and be like, okay, now what?
yes, definitely. Well, and plus the fact that you're humble enough to say you don't know it all, so you still have that passion to like
Yeah.
learn and grow with your business, which will just make you even better.
Yeah.
So,
And you can always be better. You know, like even the best of the best, they can still always be better.
so I'm curious because you are such a creative and a lot of, I think what a lot of people think about when they think of photography is like the final product, the pictures, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's so much more that goes into like the business side of it. How
Yes.
has that learning curve been for you?
That is definitely not my strong suit. I definitely am like I have the entrepreneur brain, like I know how to hustle. But like just like logistically and like doing things the right way, has just been a big thing for me to like find out about and like figuring out, business licenses and taxes and all these things, that you unfortunately don't really learn in school. And so taking these classes at OCC, they actually have a program tailored to professional photography. So all those business classes come into play because that's usually the side of things that people aren't strong at. And so it's nice to kind of have people who do have extensive experience teaching that to me. But that's definitely been the hardest part. I can take pictures all day long, I can edit, I can come up with the concepts. But when it comes to the business side, it is not as fun. But I'm learning to love it because I need to know it, and that's for any business to be successful is you need to have both parts.
I love that you mentioned OCC. I recently had a DJ who's also a video producer on the podcast,
Cool.
and he was just like touting how awesome the production program was and is for him at OCC. And I think it's amazing that there's all of these great programs that are local. They're a little bit more affordable. They also like cater to the schedules of people that are working at the same time. So, what a great thing to have in our community.
I'm so thankful for it. I've had nothing but good experiences at OCC, and I've switched my kind of direction a little bit. And so they've been super, super fun to work with. And like, I've just enjoyed all my professors and all the programs that I've been able to be a part of. And their program is like equivalent for photography, is like equivalent to like Harvard level kind of thing. Like, it's state of the art. Like, it's beautiful how much they've put into this program, and I recommend it for anyone. Whether you don't know anything about photography or you've been doing it for a long time, it is tailored for all levels, and it's so nice. Like, you can just network with people and meet all different levels, and that's the other thing that helps me learn too, is like shadowing other people or people shadowing me, and just having like-minded people is like so fun to be around, and it's inspiring and motivating.
Yeah.
But you help one another and you learn as you go.
Great. So now your business, I know you mentioned some of the stuff that you do, like the, weddings and whatnot. Do you do any like promotional, like marketing photography too?
In terms of like marketing photography, like for other businesses or just like,
Yeah, oh, anything.
okay, yeah, I mean, I've definitely done, like, I worked at the flower shop for so long, and I did a lot of their photography. I did all their photography. So that would go on their website or go for any marketing things that were going on. I've worked with Hilton and Marriott as well for certain properties and done that type of thing.
Cool.
And so I don't just do like people specific. I've definitely dabbled in branding and like more still life photography, which has been a lot of fun. And I learned a lot about that in classes too, because there's studio and light and everything. But in terms of like deals and stuff for me for marketing, like every winter holiday season, like now I offer like mini sessions, which is typically common in the photography world, is people will typically offer like family sessions during the holiday season, and they're at a fraction of the cost. So they're, they come at a higher demand. And so it's a quicker kind of process. It's less of an investment, but it's a shorter amount of time, and you get your photos in time for the holidays. But for marketing, I mean, that's what I do. But whatever anyone kind of needs for their project, like I figure it out, I guess, and like make sure that I can make it work, and we work together as a team, which is super important to have a good relationship with your clients, because they want to trust you, and you want to trust them. And that's important to have that kind of level playing field when working with someone so closely,
Yeah.
especially in photography. Like, you want to make sure their vision comes to life and it's perfect.
Yeah, agreed. And I also liked what you said earlier too about just people feeling comfortable with you because, I think part of what I was getting at before is like we're all so used to now being able to like curate ourselves the way we want to, like we do our selfies or, whatever. So we know and we kind of control how we want to come across.
Yeah.
But now you're like putting it in the hands of Kayla, right? So like, what if Kayla doesn't get my good side or, whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
They gotta trust you and they're paying you for it. So yeah, do you
Establishing comfortability, because I know what it's like to be photographed. I used to love being photographed, and then once I got more comfortable behind the camera, I'm like, I'll stay here. But I do know what it's like to be on the other side, and I know for people who are more shy, I'm more outgoing in nature, and so I'm more like willing to get my photo taken. But for those who are maybe more reserved, it's harder for them, and I totally understand that because a lot of my friends are that way too. And so just making sure that like I know what your insecurities are, but I don't want to emphasize them. I want to make sure that we kind of make sure that you're comfortable and you are happy with the result. Because I would be upset, like if no one took that into consideration for myself, and then it was just like, oh well, here you go. Like, it's not as transactional as some people may think. I've definitely had clients who've treated it more transactionally, and that's their preference. But my preference is always to get to know my client, have that relationship with them, be able to trust each other and be comfortable. And even like me pushing their boundaries, like they're not sure how they would feel about a certain pose or a certain location or concept, but once you kind of build it up for them and they see that, it's like, oh, like it's a reward, and it's like, oh, that's actually really cool, and they're like happy about it, and they're more willing to like let that insecurity go.
Yeah, well, I guess that really ties again into the name of your business about getting creative
Mhm.
because you have a lot of vision that the everyday person might not necessarily take into consideration.
I have
So,
a different perspective, and a lot of times people forget to think about that, and it's something that I try to always keep at the forefront, is just making sure, because I like when I take a selfie, I'm not going to post the first one that I take. I mean, I feel like no one really does that. And so it's always again, just being comfortable and knowing who your network is and who your client base is, like doing that research and understanding the consumer, because everyone's different.
right, right. So, do you have any tips? Let's kind of bring it home to Costa Mesa briefly, but
Yeah.
as a photographer, do you have any tips about like places that are good photo op spots or whatnot?
Yeah, I definitely would say the beach, obviously, because that's pretty accessible for all of us. And there's so many different like things you can do. You have the water, you have the sand. There's also like the walkway on PCH or Ocean Boulevard.
Yeah.
That's really fun. And there's always trees, like the palm trees and like greenery. That's really fun. So you can really get like creative and figure out different locations that work best for you if you want it more urban or natural. I do love on Placentia. There's that hill. I don't know if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
called
Davis
anything.
Park, I think. Yeah.
By the train, and that's a fun. I used to take walks there. I mean, that was my backyard basically, and I would just go walk around. And being in nature is so pretty. So if you don't want that more like coastal vibe, there's definitely more things inland. And any park with trees and greenery, you can never go wrong. Uh, but yeah, and even near South Coast Plaza, there's I forget what it's called. I think the Nanguchi
Yeah.
Gardens. That's a really great opportunity for like more of an urban setting, and so like I'll do business headshots there, or even senior photos because it's just like a different pace. But yeah, any park I love being outside. Natural light is my preferred, so I like the parks because there's trees and there's flowers and fields. But yeah,
We're pretty lucky for a photographer. Typically, the weather's on par in this area. So the parks are like not a problem.
oh yeah, that's the nice thing about being here for sure. Is there's so many beautiful places to go at all times of the year.
Definitely. And so let's talk a little bit about the mini sessions that you have kind of coming up. Like this is perfect timing. I wasn't even thinking
Yeah,
about it. But
yeah.
yeah, what should people know about that or how can they find out more?
Yeah, so on my profile, I have a little highlight where I have the rate and what you get with your session. I had some earlier in October, and I have some that are being extended throughout the month of November. But basically, I have preset locations and set times, and you get to kind of schedule with me what works best for you. We'll go and do photos for you, and you'll get your photos within a week. And you'll be able to like have them for the holiday cards and everything. But all of it's like linked on my profile and my highlights, and I post about it every week just so that it's fresh in people's minds. But it's something I only offer during this season, so they aren't going to be around all year long. And so that's just something to keep in mind, because I won't have them like all year round, and they only come during the holiday season.
Well, it's the perfect time to get that. I mean, people are always looking to get photos this time of year to share with their friends and their family. So,
It's to schedule like big productions, and like if you have a big family, and so I understand like it's intimidating booking a full session because maybe you don't have a full hour or two out of your day to dedicate solely to just taking photos on the beach with your family. So it's a quicker session. It's less of an investment, but it also you get it there quick and fast, and that's something that is nice in this generation, especially if people want things right away. But I also too, if like you want your Christmas card or holiday cards, designed, I offer that as well, which is something fun. And I can really tailor it to the theme of your family for that year or for the holiday vibe you're going for.
oh, I like that. That's a really good idea. It's just another time saver.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like one-stop shop. I like to do it all. So it's not something that I really advertise super like often. It's only really when I connect with my clients and we're like talking about the session, making sure that we're good to go and everything's planned. But I do like some good graphic design fun. So I'm always open to that.
Well, that speaks to your like creative bones in your body. So,
It's not a service that I typically will see, and that's another beautiful thing about having your own business is if you don't see it out there, you can just come up with it and do it and implement it yourself, and that's fun.
no, I think that's a really genius idea, actually, because I can't tell you how many years like I'll get my photos and then it's like, okay, like I'll go on Shutterfly or whatever, and then try to put it together. And it takes a while. Like,
Takes a long time. I know. I grew up watching my mom do it, and I'm like, I could teach myself how to do this. So now I will do like our family invites or any of our cards if we have them. Like I be like, oh, I'll design it. Baby
yeah.
shower, I got you. Birthday party, I got you. And it's
Oh,
just yeah.
oh, so many like little side hustles within your business.
Yes, and there's more to come next year. I don't have too much info to talk about now, and I wish I did, but more is to come within the next year for sure as I continue to bloom in my business.
Great. Well, then I'll have you back on next year. Okay, so share again like where people can find you on social media so they can look at your website and find you on social.
Yeah, I'm at Kayla Goetz Creative. Goetz is how you spell my last name. And I have pretty much full accessibility on my Instagram. You can contact me there. I have all my links for my website, for my email. That's the easiest way to contact me is through email or website. Just submit an inquiry form. And I can send you, a curated kind of questionnaire for what you're looking for, and we can work together, set up a meeting, meet in person if you'd like. I'm really open to anything, and I just like making new connections. But I'm there on Instagram all the time. I will be more active. I haven't been as much as I want to be, but I've just been working on more of the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm also on TikTok, which is fun because that's more of like a brain dump kind of area. So you can see more of my personality. But just, it's all at Kayla Goetz Creative.
Awesome. Well, Kayla, thank you so much. Yes, everybody go check out. She's got some beautiful photos and fun photos.
Thank
And it
you.
really is a creative soul. So thanks for all you do.
Yeah, thank you for making the time to meet with me and hear more about my business and about myself. It's been so fun. I know we've had a few months of knowing, or maybe even a year or so of knowing each other from other connections. So it's nice we finally got to do this together.
Yes, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.